There is more than a sense of urgency around the world today about the future of energy supplies. Most importantly, the security of those energy supplies, combined with deepening concerns about global warming and the environment. What all of us do in the next very few short years will affect us all, locally, nationally and globally. From the G8 to Garno, there is growing international consensus that we must move towards dramatic reductions in greenhouse gas emissions. The message is clear. We face an increasingly carbon-constrained future, a carbon-constrained economy, an emissions trading scheme with all the costs and opportunities that will flow from it is inevitable. For the Northern Territory, the period between now and the next APIA conference to be held here in Darwin at the end of May 2009, and geez, we're looking forward to that, Belinda, is going to be very important. By October, we are likely to have a firm idea of the intentions of the Australian Government over the scope and timing of an emissions trading scheme and draft exposure legislation by the end of the year. The Territory Government will release our climate change policy by February next year. From then on, we're all going to have to hit the ground running. The directions we take as government and industry will require clear-headed thinking and planning. Success will not just fall from the sky, it will not happen by accident. Above all, we must provide certainty in this brave new world of emissions trading. And this is where the Northern Territory, in partnership with the gas industry, must and will work together. In the past 5 years, Darwin has established itself as Australia's second international gas hub. This has occurred parallel with and complementary to the opening of the Australasia Railway and the expansion of the Port of Darwin. My message to everybody here today is very clear. The Territory is open for business. I give that message with an important rider. Governments, least of all the Northern Territory Government, do not make decisions on investment. That is the job of industry. What governments can do, and what I'm totally committed to, is to provide certainty to industry in making your investment decisions. Our job as government is to create an environment that is conducive to planned, sustained investment that will benefit the people of the Territory not just today, but for decades to come. When we say the Territory is open for business, we mean that we are providing certainty to industry to make your investment decisions. The cornerstone and initial project for Australia's second international gas hub in Darwin is the ConocoPhillips Darwin LNG plant. Darwin LNG shipped its 100th cargo in March this year, and a cargo left at about this time yesterday. The plant's production capacity now stands at 3.5 million tonnes per annum, with environmental approvals to increase production to 10 million tonnes per annum. The second major project will see the completion of ENI's pipeline and associated processing plant for gas from the Blacktip fields in the Joseph Bonaparte Gulf. This will allow our Power and Water Corporation to supply electricity to most major Northern Territory towns for the next 25 years. Construction activity for this near $1 billion project is now reaching a peak, with first gas scheduled in early 2009. This environment of certainty for industry that is my philosophy encouraged BOC to establish their helium plant in Darwin, the only such plant in the Southern Hemisphere. The beauty of this $41 million development is not only that it will supply the whole of Australia's market for helium, but it will also export 2/3 of its production to Asia. And it is this environment of certainty for industry we are offering to INPEX in the development of their Ichthys field off the West Australian coast. I have worked hard to press the case for Ichthys LNG to be developed in Darwin. We are doing our best to convince our friends at INPEX and Total that Darwin is the place to be. If successful, this $12 billion LNG project in Darwin, the largest by far in the history of the Northern Territory, will be worth around $50 billion to the Territory's economy over the next 2 decades, with an estimated 4,000 jobs being created. I repeat that again. $50 billion over the next 2 decades flowing into local businesses, which will mean extra resources for schools, hospitals and police. The $50 billion figure is the assessment of ACIL Tasman, who have completed a report into the impact of LNG processing on the Northern Territory economy. I will be releasing this report here today.